Hello, I'm ToycatA, and everyone and their mother thinks they have a way to improve Minecraft, and some of these suggestions are actually pretty good and implemented into the game. Some of these suggestions are pretty bad, however, and some of these suggestions are so horrendously bad that I almost feel like they go all the way around the cycle and sometimes get to be almost good. This is where the subreddit Minecraft suggestions come in. It is the very best of Minecraft's worst suggestions, and given that people upvote their favorite / least favorite to the very top, once a year we get to have a very fun time going through the absolute worst Minecraft suggestions of the year, and you better believe 2020's time has arrived. The suggestions this year range from things like this to things like this. I don't know what either of those things are because I try to look at these entirely fresh. I don't get to see the subreddit for the entire year, but I'm so excited to dive right into it today with the 50th worst suggestion. We'll be going through all 50, and the 50th one is when drowned drowns, they become drowned drowns. So if a drowned would drown, it would become a drown, which is like drown squared basically. That's an idea that's not so bad that it's good. That's just an idea that's playing around with literary words. I'll give it a little golf clap, but it's not as good as the 49th worst idea, which is on Pocket Edition, there should be an option to play with the keyboard, which just pulls the touchscreen keyboard up to half of the screen so you can play on the keyboard on mobile. I mean, think about it. People are always complaining about the advantage that keyboard mouse players have over mobile touchscreen players. Easy way to fix that, give the touchscreen players access to their phone's keyboard. I mean, you could resize Minecraft to play in that little part of the window remaining, and then they would be pro PvP players, just minus the mouse. Also, no arrow key. You know, besides all the flaws in this idea, it's a good idea. Like the 48th best idea, which is the Ender Dragon has a chance of not spawning. Man, you know, that's a way to teach people about the cruelness of the universe. Like, you know how Minecraft has that 1 in 10,000 chance of, like, Minecraft accidentally says Minecraft, and you look confused and you're like, is this different? Probably not. Or like, you know, there's a tiny chance of a zombie spawning in, or baby zombie even, spawning in with full enchanted diamond armor and just destroying you, even having to filter on his hardcore world. Maybe there should just be a tiny 1 in 10,000 chance of the Ender Dragon just not spawning. Because with no Ender Dragon, you can't defeat the game, you can't go back to the overworld, all your stuff is just stuck in that dimension. Maybe the game should just be like, yeah, screw you. Life's hard. Deal with it, you know? Like, I think that's a terrible idea, but it's almost so bad it's good. It almost sounds like a good idea. It's just until you think about it that you realize it definitely shouldn't be in the game. Unlike the 47th best suggestion, which is that if you take full damage whilst wearing Fawn's armor, the ground takes damage in... why? I mean... I understand the, you know, full damage. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you got to damage the things that hurt you. But I mean, the ground, should there be an amount of damage? Wait, because I actually, at first, like, this is obviously a joke about, like, okay, you fall, the world takes damage. But what if you could actually break a block that way? What if every block you landed on took a tiny bit of damage, and there was a way, because, you know, damaging a block is just breaking it. What if you could actually break blocks that way? What if you hit a block hard enough, you could actually break that block just by jumping on it? Like how taking anvil damage to your head would be. Is a way to kill people. I'm just saying, would be real cool. Would reduce the need for stalactites at all. And that's why they won't do it. You know, the Mojang elites trying to hide these things from us. However, you know what's not being hidden from us? The 46th best worst suggestion of this year, which is if your boat crashed into an iceberg, you get the achievement Titanic. This is legitimately good, right? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's a fun joke of a suggestion. It's obviously terrible, but why is it? I mean, Minecraft achievements are there to encourage you to do weird and interesting parts of Minecraft, and crashing a boat into an iceberg, genuinely useful, because then you can get out, land on the iceberg. Also, if it says Titanic, you get to make a joke, everyone's a winner, and then we all clap and we all go home. What's not to love? I guess what's not to love is the 45th best suggestion. Add a new music disc that, when played, is just Jeb talking about his board game collection for an hour and a half. This is a month old. I mean, I'm just saying, why has Jeb not spoken about his board game collection? He has a board game collection. He teased us all from Minecon Live saying, you know, that he had one and he wanted to talk about it. Why have we not heard? That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear about, like, oh, some spooky noises from the 13 disc. No, we want to hear about Jeb talking about his board game collection. Why won't you give us this, Jeb? I mean, he doesn't actually work on Minecraft development most days, he has admitted, so he has time to record a little audio podcast about his board game collection, I think. Speaking of things he has time to do, the 44th suggestion is campfire smoke should always go towards you. Or the 43rd suggestion, add the Diorite Walker achievement. I mean, we have Frost Walker, we have Soul Speed, why isn't there a... oh, I guess this is more like You walk on any blocks and they turn into diorite? Wait, yeah, what if there was a way? You walk on stone blocks and they turn into diorite. Diorite right now, really hard to find. The only way you can get it is crafting it with this atrocious recipe that I can't believe anyone actually does. So what if there were boots that could turn it into that? See? It was being sarcastic. It's making fun of the fact that people don't like the way diorite looks. But I reckon this is a genius idea. Just like Minecraft the Hoglin update. Wait, that's the whole post. Oh, the post itself has an actual description. Let's go through it. So this is a major update that adds new versions of the hoglin. There is the boglin that spawns in the swamp biome. There is the doglin. Doglins are good boys. There is the foglin, ominously sets your render distance to 2 chunks. There is the hoglin, but that already exists, right? The joglin, committed to a fitness-based lifestyle. There is the loglin, I think you need to chop with axes to kill it. There is the moglin, fired by Mojang. Noglin, notorious for its eggnog recipes. The poglin, what explanation do you need for poglin, am I right? The soglin spawns in ocean biomes, probably drowning or something. Drops wet pork chops because it's soggy. The voglin is for basalt deltas. They drop smoked barbecue. Wait, voglin. I don't get it, but what I do get is the Hoglin 2 Electric Boogaloo, the Moblin, the Coglin, the Oglin, the Vlogin, and the Vloglin, which films really annoying videos. Ooh, call out those vloggers. So yeah, Minecraft the Hoglin update. You know what? I think just the Doglin is good enough for me. What if we had dog pigs and they were good boys? Is that so much to ask for, Mojang? Is that so much to ask for? Speaking of so much to ask for, the 41st best suggestion of the year is from ToycatA, and it just says, remove mobs. Go ahead and downvote this, but this would seriously simplify mob grinders. So an in-joke from the subreddit from the last year is everything is there to simplify mob grinders, and you've got to admit, mob grinders would be so much simpler if there were no mobs. It just makes a lot of sense. So next up we have, if your language is set to American English, bows are replaced with guns. Can confirm, been to America recently, you can just walk around with a gun. And given, if there's no, open carry law in Minecraft forbidding that, I don't see why you shouldn't just be able to walk around with a gun and you can upgrade them with sticks to make them longer. What a great idea this is. But you know what's even better than that? Whenever there is a solar eclipse on Mongolia on a leap year, 1 out of every 100, there's a lot of zeros in this number, note blocks placed will play a fart sound no matter what surface they're on. This is the stuff Mojang should be working on right here. Man, that number goes on so long, I don't know when it ends. It goes so far, literally it ends where the page does for me. The thing I like about this though is the top comment which says, you can't prove this isn't already in the game. So yeah, with that said, let's move into the 38th best suggestion of the year. If 3 wither skeleton skulls are placed in a soul sand valley, the whole valley turns into a fat wither. Okay, you know what, that makes sense because they go on soul sand, so if there's a whole valley full of them now, you can make a giant biome-sized mob. Honestly, I would love to see like a wither extension like that, like the more blocks you place, the harder the wither is to fight. It'd be so cool to be able to fight an entire biome in Minecraft because, there's a serious lack of that. So, great idea, in my opinion. It's one of those ideas. So bad, meant to be a meme, all the way back around the spectrum, and now it's actually a good idea, despite being entirely dumb on the surface. But lots of good ideas are dumb on the surface. Something that isn't a stupid idea is being able to cut off villager noses with shears and being able to eat it. I mean, if you can do this with, like the golems anyway, if you can do this with those snow golems, it makes sense. The villagers have these big extruding pieces, and clearly there's no rule against villager cruelty in Minecraft. I've got a whole point that I want to mention about, like, Minecraft has a message saying you should support indigenous peoples, but also the way it works in Minecraft is you enslave indigenous people, put them in a box, and then use them to, sell things for you. But you know what, whatever, that's, cutting off their noses and shearing them is the least of the atrocities you can do right there. Also, speaking of atrocities, add an enchantment named Gay. This enchantment does nothing, only makes the enchanted effect rainbow. Sounds mean, right? Sounds useless. I think people would go crazy for that. People would pay microtransaction money to have a gay sword that had rainbow, things go behind it. You know how much money people would pay for gay arrows? People would pay real world money for that. So why would they not have the gay enchantment on their bow? Unless it's a bow, in which case it wouldn't aim straight, apparently. Anyway, with that said, when you throw a bottle of honey at the ender dragon 5 seconds before you kill it, you get the achievement, "This video was sponsored by honey." You know, I get it. I'm on YouTube here too. There's a lot of honey advertisements. Have you guys considered honey? This is the best integrated sponsorship in the world. So the 34th suggestion is every time you buy a copy of Minecraft, it should come with a gaming PC setup. It's not fair how I need a PC for Minecraft when I already bought Minecraft. Very funny. Honestly, this goes into the spectrum of being so bad that it's cringe more than anything else, but you know, it's okay. Cringe on the internet. It happens all the time. Let's just say, oh, you just posted cringe, and move on with our life and say, delete Hypixel. Hypixel banned me, I want revenge. This would simplify Mineplex's business strategy. So next up we have the 32nd best suggestion. This was from before 1.17 came out. 1.17 gonna be the well update. We all want an update to the good old desert well. They should definitely give it an overhaul, adding new designs that spawn depending based on the biome. In fact, they should spawn in every biome, including oceans and in all dimensions. And we all really want a new type of illager called the wellager. He inhabits the well and gets angry when you take water from his well. See, this is a joke post. This is them posting, perhaps you could say. So this is clearly a bad idea, right? I mean, that goes without saying. But because the desert well is so bad already, even this joke of an idea of adding the wellager, who just gets mad when you steal his water, would already make this one of the best ideas. This is something I am genuinely, you know, like I would be excited to see added. Even though it's a terrible suggestion, the current well, you know, no one would ask to add that to Minecraft. It's like, you know, if marriage didn't exist, who would invent it? Probably no one. But in the same way, it's like, oh yeah, if you know, the desert well didn't exist right now, who would be lobbying really hard for its addition? Nobody would. It exists because it exists. It exists just to continue on because removing it is also a decision. And therefore, let's add a wellager. I mean, it can't get any worse, right? It can't get any less well off, I guess you could say. Speaking of getting well off, the 31st best suggestion is if you speedrun, iron golems will pull you over and fine you 50 emeralds for speeding. Why? Where does this come from? I mean, I guess speedrunning got really popular this year. But do you know what else got popular this year? If you played Pigstep in any jukebox, any ocelots named IBX, ToycatA. Oh my god, this references me. Within a 16-block radius, start meowing. Cave update is yes. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Wait, how do you meow? Cave update is yes. Meow, 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 meow. See, I can't even... this doesn't even make any logical sense. I just tried to make this work. It does not work. But I love it anyway because somehow I got referenced here. You know, that's the worry. When you do something every year, you start to get referenced. But you know what else is a reference? The 29th best suggestion: you shouldn't be able to see the sun unless your render distance is set to at least 9.35 million chunks. You know, I like this. It makes sense, right? If Minecraft's gonna have a render distance, it makes sense that the sun should require a further render distance. Otherwise, it's inconsistent. I agree. David, this isn't weed. But you know what else is genius? This next suggestion, which is they should add an in-game currency called Minecoins that forces you to have to purchase things that used to be free, such as skins, map, etc. Wait, I think Mojang has taken this one. See, this idea was so good that it made it all the way to the Mojang boardroom, and they were like, oh my god, this is a great idea, and it's been in the game for 3 years now. This shows the power we can have. As a community, we can make bad suggestions and they can be added. We might just be able to have the Ender Dragon not spawn sometime. We might just be able to have to force, you know, the Iron Golems to enforce speeding fines on the game. I'm just saying, it's a very... This is a big day for Minecraft. But no, obviously, this is someone riffing on the microtransaction system. Imagine if Mojang actually allowed this, Lamau. That would suck. Mine EA Craft, am I right? Lol, sorry man, the only way this will happen is if some entity like EA, or god forbid Microsoft, bought the game. Mojang's better than that though. Not gonna lie, that sounds like something Microsoft or EA would do, and I'm getting the chills imagining these Minecoins. God, I cannot imagine Minecoins. Thank God we live in a universe where this post wasn't taken into account. So the next idea here is load the entire 60 million by 60 million world at once and keep all of it loaded. I mean, we've got performance for it right now, right? Why can't we just leave that all spawned in so you can see the entire world? I mean, you wouldn't actually be able to see most of it, but this is genius for that level. Actually, wait, it's interesting. Even with the 60 million block render distance, you still wouldn't be able to see where the sun is. So... you know what, I've got a lot of questions about how the Minecraft world works, but I don't have questions about this next high quality suggestion, which is if the player uses a furnace in a room without ventilation for too long, they die of carbon monoxide poisoning. Just makes some sense, right? That is the 26th best suggestion. We're now in the top 25. Can't believe we're getting to the stage where there is over 25 suggestions with about 2,000 upvotes on them each. But this next suggestion, high quality in my opinion, because villagers now keep count of how many villagers from that village have been zombified, but if your language is set to Chinese, then they lie about it. Ooh, you know, let's not dive into geopolitics here. I mean, lying about official figures, we all know it's bad. We all know you shouldn't do it. We all know that massaging figures to make your regime look good is not a good thing to do. And I'm glad that no one does that at all. No one in the slightest, huh? So moving into a more lighthearted suggestion, the 24th best worst Minecraft suggestion is brewing stands should be renamed to stupid stands because I don't know how to make a potion. The next suggestion is add PTSD. I mean, right now, something bad happens to you, there's no long-lasting effects on your character. This is a serious issue they need to fix immediately, and Matic45 understands how. But the next suggestion, genuinely great, is if you set your language to Hindi, cows become invincible. I mean, in my heart, cows are already invincible, so what's the difference here? I genuinely don't see it. But what I do see is make it so all 347 quadrillion possible banner combinations are in the creative inventory. And this is a problem, right? There are some things in Minecraft that aren't in the creative inventory. A lot of fireworks aren't in there. A lot of items that you have to get outside of that, even the command block and whatnot. And one of the problems is banners. You can only get solid colored banners in the creative inventory, so you should be able to get every single one of those possible banner combinations just by scrolling through a UI. I think this would look great. I think this is a delightful idea. What's it doing in this subreddit? I genuinely don't understand. Next up here, we've got if an enemy dies while on fire, it will drop cooked ender pearls. Cooked ender pearls is something we're seriously lacking, and I can't believe this inconsistency existing in Minecraft. Next up, we have naming your cat Heckin' Chonkers Wholesome 100 kills it. You know what? I think the Heckin' Chonkers Wholesome 100 cat is not something that deserves to die. If you disagree with that, you tell it to the long boy himself. Available at makeshift.com/ link in the description / on screen right now /ToycatA, somewhere in there. See, there was a sponsorship in this video. I just hit it because I sponsored it myself. Didn't see that coming, did you? Next up here, we have there's a 1% chance every time you play a music disc in a jukebox of getting rickrolled. So this might sound like a terrible idea, but honestly, unlike a lot of these other joke suggestions, this one makes a lot of sense because we joke about Minecraft all the time. We have a whole channel about it, but like it or not, Minecraft is the game that's never going to give you up. Minecraft will never let you down. Minecraft's not going to run around. Minecraft's not going to desert you. It's not going to make you cry. It's not going to make you say goodbye, and it's not going to tell a lie and hurt you. You know, we've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. I know Minecraft. I know you can't say it, but inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game, and we're gonna play it, as indeed we have been doing in the background of this video. Anyway, with that said, let's move into the next best terrible Minecraft suggestion, because the 17th worst suggestion of this year is if you play on a Minecraft world for 7.5 billion years, the sun expands and engulfs your world. Here's the thing, right? How do we know this isn't already the case? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What if it's already in the game? We just haven't been able to unprogram it. Next up, we have torches in caves, take all the oxygen, and you die. This is a real problem with caves, right? You need to actually have ventilation shafts, and you know, the whole like canary in the coal mine, it might sound like it's just an expression. People used to bring birds of them into a coal mine. If the bird died, you'd know there was no oxygen, and I'm just saying, we don't need to care about that in Minecraft, but we should need to. We should have to make ventilation shafts, and the fact that we don't is a terrible injustice. So speaking of terrible injustices, we've got if you get the music disc from the creative inventory, you get the achievement piracy. It's a crime. Technically speaking, you are pirating music discs. Anytime you get something in creative, you are like pirating that thing. You're getting it without going through the usual effort, and you know what? It's a crime. Think about that the next time you play creative. Got my eyes on you. Got my eyes on your cheating items into the game right now. Next up, we've got dragon egg should be craft point to black tie. Oh my god, I can imagine someone doing this by accident. There is one dragon egg per world if you're playing Bedrock or Java, and just losing it forever to black tie. Such a good idea. Such a good idea. Lawrence Spaghetti. What a delightful thing here. I wonder how many people have actually lost their their dragon eggs forever because they just threw it off the edge of the world or something. Anyway, on a similar note, being able to craft the Withers dye into one white dye would be epic, I think, and it would simplify dye grinders. Indeed it would, indeed it would. The top comment on this is this: I've been so tired of having to farm squid for black dye. Having a secondary source that's easy to get will make everything so much better. And, you know, couldn't agree more. So next up here we have the you cave update that just removes caves. You know, the community has been really asking for a cave update far too often. How about we give them a cave update? They'll make them regret what they asked for next time. Yeah, screw the community. Next up, we've got the punching obsidian makes it crying obsidian. We need to teach the players that actions don't not have consequences, and punching obsidian making it crying obsidian, that's the important thing. And you know, if this doesn't get added to the game, I'll be crying. That's you want to make me cry, Mojang? You don't. You know? And you didn't even punch me and you could do that. Because you said you'd never give me up. You said you'd never let me down. You said you'd never run around, but you did desert me on this one, Mojang. You did desert me. So next up here, we have if you bring a donkey to the end and feed it, it will mate with the Ender Dragon. And this is just realism. We've all seen, there's this big documentary on this. It's called Shrek, I think. It's this great documentary about this donkey that falls in love with a dragon. Here's their wedding scene. It's absolutely delightful. It's a really telling expose into something we don't consider all enough as people in this world. And the fact that Mojang themselves have not, you know, they should watch this documentary and see for themselves. It's a real thing. It's a real problem. And this definitely should be added. So we're now into the 10 worst suggestions of the entire year. I'm excited. These are always the wackiest ones. They can be terrible, they can be great, or they could just be such genuine ideas that sound sarcastic. But we have the 10th best worst idea of the year. If you die in hardcore, Mojang should send a hitman to kill you in real life. I mean, there should be an... I've been saying this forever. There should be an ultra hardcore where stuff is on the line. You should have like $100 deposit that is destroyed, but $100. Who cares about that? That means only the rich can play it. No, there should be a hitman actively seeking to kill you if you mess up and die in hardcore. Then you would take things pretty seriously. You know, the more that's on the line, the more that people care. That is a lesson we've all learned. And the fact that this doesn't exist right now is just another sign of Microsoft trying to make Minecraft kid-friendly. You know what? Maybe kids should be killed by hitmen too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Next up, we have add wandering traders, and then they give an explanation of how the wandering trader would work. And this is such a terrible idea. Like, yeah, of course, he sells junk that he found around the world for emeralds because there's going to be this new exclusive trader llama that comes with him. This is a way over the top idea. Like, you know, it's like I usually say, some of these ideas are good, some are bad, but this one's just so amusingly bad that they're never going to add it because wandering traders will be a new type of villager that spawns randomly in the world every so often. So it just spawns randomly. There's no way to find it. See, I mean, we're already getting on the little bit of a weird track, but they'll spawn attached to two new trader llamas of leads. Wait, they're going to make a whole brand new llama type just for this one mob. See, again, we're getting unrealistic. What's the point of that mob? Of course, they're not just going to add a brand new type of llama just for the wandering trader when the llamas don't do anything for the trader. And then they're going to sell you junk that they found while wandering for emeralds. And this junk will be perfect if you haven't started the world, but also it costs emeralds, which you won't have till you probably have those things. So it's just going to be bizarre junk they found around the world that spawns in randomly with some llamas. And then they drink an invisibility potion at night because he's such a wuss and wants to hide from zombies. I mean, this entire idea is terrible, right? Like, it's on the Minecraft suggestion subreddit. I get that. It's deliberately terrible, but this one's just hamming it up too much. I can't imagine if this actually became a feature. That'd be a bit too much for a meme, in my opinion. Even the comments go a bit overboard. Like, imagine making trades like 5 emeralds for some bamboo, Lamau, or I love paying 3 emeralds for a gas block. I mean, just these are all terrible ideas, and you know what? We're hamming it up a bit too hard. Unlike this 8th idea, which is add this as a spawnable structure, and oh. I mean, if you think about it, a zombie village should totally have one of these and those. Like, there needs to be some urgency, something to save about those villages, not just a bunch of zombie villagers right there. And I think, therefore, great idea, upside down villager. Next idea here is the upvote limit for r/Minecraft should be 64 upvotes. I mean, you can't fit more than 64 upvotes in a stack. Then we've got add all 19 and then lots of zeros, possible firework rockets to creative inventory. See, this person saw the previous post and they were like, yeah, it's good, but we could get better. And I agree. Why can't you put all of the fireworks in your inventory straight from creative? I mean, I just want to pirate some fireworks. I don't have to craft them manually, but right now you do. It's a big problem. Next up, we've got add please Mojang, and then it's I put a diamond and a netherite ingot together, and then you would make a netherite ingot. That is technically correct. That is technically what would happen. You know what? They were joking around with this one, but I'm just saying, if you could like put a diamond block in there and a netherite, and then it would look like a netherite block, but it would actually be like just a netherite coated diamond block, boom, we've got a use for that. Also, diamond horse armor. They just entirely forgot about netherite horse armor. They genuinely forgot about one of their horse armor types. You can't upgrade it with netherite, and I feel like that would be smart too. But yeah, this is an idea that exists in the subreddit, and it's the 5th best one of the entire year. The 4th best one of the entire year is the game asks you to enter your religion before playing. If you type Muslim, it won't let you eat pork. If you type Hindu, it won't let you eat steak. If you're a type atheist, you spawn in the nether and can't leave. I was wondering where that was going. I was like, oh god, we've offended so many groups. But yeah, you know, atheists are going to burn in hell anyway. Might as well get good at role-playing it. Am I right? Religious pals? There is a god that I definitely know exists, and he is good. I mean, I actually like the interpretation of the end in Minecraft, where it's like, you know what? There's some greater being, you don't understand it, but also it doesn't exist. It's all imaginary anyway. You know what? There's a good interpretation, but also, I simplified that down way too much. I like the comments of this, because if you type Christian, you're unable to breed any animals unless they're married, in a village church with priest villager. I'm just saying, why is marriage not a thing in Minecraft? Makes a lot of sense. Also, if you choose Scientologist, you have to give all your emeralds to the cleric. Okay, I don't want the Scientologist to claim my video. So, all mobs should drop meat if language is set to Chinese. Oh, you know, that's going in deep on an entire section of the world right there. And I think that killing cats or dogs to get meat is something no country would ever actually do. That's just a joke, right? I mean, that's clearly a terrible suggestion for China. Like, they don't actually do that, so we shouldn't actually do it in Minecraft. Ha ha ha, funny. So speaking of things that are funny, the second best suggestion of the entire year is just fat diamond sword. It's 3 diamonds, then 3 diamonds, then 3 sticks, and then it's a fat diamond sword. Slower than an axe, but can instant kill a wither. Seems balanced. I mean, why don't we have a fat diamond sword? If people want to have, you know, like a little bit of weight gain on their sword, let them do it, you cowards, Mojang. And finally here, we have the most upvoted post of the entire year. And I see it already. Naming your ocelot, IBX ToycatA, causes it to constantly complain about the lack of a cave update. This was 7 months ago, and boy, do you look silly now. Now that this has happened, it's crazy that like it's that thing I mentioned where like you talk about something enough and then it slowly starts to be influenced. The top suggestion of the entire year is just, what if there's an ocelot that complains about the cave update? That's my entire channel. My entire channel is gone. It's a shambles. The worst suggestions of the year didn't even make sense this year because, I mean, the cave update's real. We can't even add this anymore because, actually, it'd be funnier if they added it anyway. You know what? What if we just kept complaining about a cave update even after one comes out? There's no rule saying that we have to acknowledge the cave update. But no, yeah, this does raise the existential question of the channel, which is, so if you wanted a cave update, ToycatA, what now? Now that the cave update's actually going? And first of all, we can always want more cave updates. But as far as the actual thing, I think we need to make sure there's a good cave update. It's not out here yet. We need to make sure it's good. We need to make sure it's great. And then, way more importantly, we need to make sure they add caves to the end. I'm just saying, it's that simple. Caves, then caves in the end. Every dimension should have caves. Why do only 2 dimensions have caves right now? It's a serious flaw. They need to fix it. Add caves to the end, you cowards. Add it. You won't. You won't. Anyway, with that said, I seriously do hope you enjoyed this video. It is one of my favorite things to go through in the year, and I hope that you enjoy this little bit of a dive into it as well. If you did, like the video and let me know. Or you can share it if you really liked it, or even you can subscribe if you're new around here to see more videos like this one every single day on your homepage. Please do check out the page for the IBX ToycatA cat. This is a limited time, one-time thing. You can literally get it just now, and it's adorable. After it stops being on sale, it will never be on sale again. But I love this thing so much, you can even like squish it together. Squish the cat. It just gotta do it. There's so many things I love about this, and it's perfect for hugging or putting as a doorstop Or for like the end of a bed. Do you want an animal but it's too hard to commit? The IBX long boy is hippie. Seriously, it's so hilariously long. In my, oh god. It's so hilariously long. But that's why you want one. Yes it is. Yes it is. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.